This is Alexandra Villajuela Abrego, and welcome to another episode of Alexandra TV. In this week's episode, I'm going to share with you what are my 5 favorite books of all time. 5 books that have really changed my life, have changed the way that I think, the way that I view things, and that I really believe will do the same for you. Over the years, one question that I've gotten over and over and over again is just that. It's what kind of books do you read? Can you share some book recommendations? So you asked for it, so I'm giving it to you. So without any further ado, let's begin. In my top 5, we have Spiritual Partnerships by Gary Zukav. Definitely a must-read if you're into learning about relationships. I know for me that before I read this book, my views on relationships were completely different. This book really opened my mind to another way of seeing and viewing relationships. So basically what this book teaches is that relationships are instruments that you use and that we all use to become the best version of ourselves. So relationships are not about, trying to change the other person or trying to get mad at what they do. In reality, if something that your partner does makes you angry, you need to, instead of pointing the finger at your partner, you need to look inside of yourself to see what is broken or what is happening, what is causing that reaction. Anyways, I'm not gonna really go into it. You really have to read it, but it's definitely in my top 5 of books. Very popular book. It's The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I read this book back in 2012. It was a period of my life where I was having a lot of anxiety, and this book really healed me in a way because it taught me to be present. It was a time in my life where I was constantly living in the future, and I was trying always to achieve and achieve and achieve and achieve. And once I achieved something, well, I wasn't even grateful for it because I wanted what was next. Well, this book really taught me to be in the moment. It's The Power of Now. So you really have to read it. It's a wonderful, wonderful book. Most of the time when I read books, it's about personal development, it's self-help, it's finances, it's spirituality, it's about even real estate at times. Any book that really helps me to become the best version of myself and to create the life that I want. That's really what I'm into and what I'm all about. But this book is a novel, but it is not only a novel, it's this story about a person going from nothing to achieving their dreams. And it's so beautifully written. It's just spectacular. I read it definitely more than 5 times probably, because every time that you read it, you learn something new. Something in your mind kind of clicks and you're like, I never thought of it that way, really. So it's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Once again, very popular book. If you haven't read it, it's a must read. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. I can't even express how much I love this book. It's amazing. It's about a boy going towards his treasure, or going, and his treasure basically is his dream. And I think we're all on that journey. So you can really, when you read this book, you kind of relate to the boy. It's a beautiful book. This book is the first book that I've ever read that has to do with personal development and growth. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read it back in 2009. It's, like I said, it's the first book that ever opened my mind to the idea that you can think things into existence. I still remember it was 2009. I was in this bus that I used to take every day for an hour and a half. I used to take 3 buses, and every time that I was sitting in the bus to go to this job that I hated, I was reading and reading the book, and I still remember how mind-blowing it was, because it was the first time that I heard about this way of thinking, right? It was the first time that I read about this way of seeing things, that you can actually think a certain way and then you create that, and it was completely mind-blowing for me. And then I started trying it, it worked, and I was like, oh my God, how come I never knew this before? So you really, really have to read this book and really share it with anyone around you, anyone and everyone around you. And finally, I already spoke about this book in my 2015 favorites video. It's A Course in Miracle. Beautiful book. I started reading it last year. It takes a while to read, and it's actually a course. That's what's beautiful about it. It's not a book. It's more of a course that teaches you how to create miracles in your life. First of all, how miracles are created and how you can start creating miracles in your life. So it's a beautiful, beautiful book that I really recommend to everyone. Anyone who's into spirituality, who believes in miracles, well, you definitely need to. Even if you don't believe in miracles, I think that this book will make you believe in miracles and make you see miracles in a different way. But anyways, I really, really recommend this book. So those were my top 5 favorite books that really have changed my life, and I really believe that they will do the same for you. It's possible that in a few months or in a few years I might have other favorites that might kick one of these ones out of the top 5. Well, I really doubt it actually, but maybe I'll make a top 10 eventually, right? So in the comment section down below, let me know what are your favorite books. So what are the books that you recommend to me or to anyone else watching this episode? And also please stay tuned, because very soon I will begin a book club. I think it's very nice to have this how can I say like that, a social commitment when it comes to reading or any goal that you have. So I know that there's a lot of people out there who want to read books on personal development and growth and all of that, but sometimes they don't find the time or whatnot. Well, I think it's going to be nice to create a community where everyone can support one another, and every month we have a book that we can all read together. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe to my email list so that you can be one of the first ones to know and to be part of the book club. So that is it for this week, and I will see you soon. Did you like this video? If so, here's 3 very simple things that I want you to do. First of all, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel because you get free videos every single week. So of course you don't want to miss that. The second thing that I want you to do is I want you to go on my website, alexandravillaruel.com, and subscribe also to my email list, because every week I send you content by email that you don't see here on Alexandra TV, but it's free content with coaching techniques, strategies, so you don't want to miss that either. And the third thing that I want you to do is I want you to share this video. Share it on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, email it to a friend, or even call a friend and say you need to go watch this. As Maya Angelou once said, when you learn, teach. So everything that you learned today, make sure you share it and you teach it to someone. I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Alexandra TV. And until then, don't forget to love life, others, and yourself.